Is this the kind of romance we should want in real life? Absolutely not. Hello, student shy bays of mine. Welcome to class. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna be teaching you today. Just call me Mrs. Reads. Yes, I'm wearing pajamas. I am a very relaxed teacher. If you would like to wear your pajamas at home, please feel free to do so. This classroom is an open space. We can all drink some Red Bulls. Hold on, before we begin. Hold on. Oh yes, we need energy for this class. This class is off to a great start already. So, before we begin, let me explain a little bit about this segment. Brand new to this channel. First time for everything. I saw this queen, this absolute queen, amazing of a person, do this. And I thought it was quite literally the best idea ever. Where you kind of just summarize an entire book for the people that don't really want to read it. Or for the people that have read it and kind of just want a reminder, you know? That's what this is going to be. So there will be spoilers. If you would like any, there's the door.
There's the door, bitch!
Anyway, shout out to this angel for this idea. I am very excited to start. Of course, we must begin with one of my favorite books, The Cat and Mouse Duet by H.D. Carlton. This is a duet. You must read it in order. However, if you're here, you either are not planning on reading it or you've already read it. So let's move along. Also, it's really hot in here. I'm already struggling. Whew. As you can see, I have some pictures here that are going to go along with my presentation. I've made a presentation. Yeah, always loved that in school. I definitely presented. I definitely didn't have panic attacks before presentation and couldn't do it. Of course, not me, not I. Public speaking is my jam because I'm a teacher. Call me Mrs. Reads. So let's start, okay? The Cat and Mouse Duet. It follows Adeline and Zaid. Here we have it. Zaid Meadows, as some would call him, or also known as Stalker. This is in fact a picture of Joe from You. Picture Zaid, kind of like Joe, but hotter. This, on the other hand, is Adeline, as some would call her. However, Zaid calls her Little Mouse. This is a rat, but pretend that it's a mouse. Or you can try to picture her as Stuart Little. Whatever helps your boat. That does not make any sense. Whatever helps your imagination is what I meant. So, Cat and Mouse Duet. Say it with me now. Cat, otherwise known as Zaid, otherwise known as Daddy. Addie, otherwise known as Mouse. Cat and Mouse Duet. So we first have Act 1 of the book, or as I like to call it, the beginning, where Addie decides to live in her grandparents' mansion. She decides to live there not for any other reason besides the fact that she needs a home. Here's said mansion for you to just picture, okay? Picture this. She decides that it's gonna be a great idea for a woman to live in this gigantic, haunted-looking house alone. Don't know why, don't ask me, I could never. But I'm also a little bitch, so there's that. I just realized teachers are not supposed to curse, right? Let's remove cursing from my vocabulary. Be right back, let me get some more Red Bull. What I meant to say is, I am in fact a scaredy cat. I did not say the B word, not me, not I. Anyway, so while Addie is living in this mansion and living her life, she is an author, she's publishing books, she is sort of successful, she's doing life, okay? Zaid, on the other hand, is on a mission to stop all the bad in the world, okay? He is a hacker, sort of. He takes care of a security company. He has a team that tracks down human trafficking and stops it. So Zaid is basically Superman, or a modern day Batman, however you want to think of him, or Santa Claus, whichever one makes you feel better. So that's essentially the idea of the book, right? Now we get to the plot. Now we get to where the nitty gritty of it all really begins. Zaid is walking one day. Picture Zaid just... Yeah, that's right. I'm not only a teacher, but I'm an actress as well. So that was Zaid walking, when he stumbles upon a picture of Addie. Addie is there doing a signing for her book because she's an author, like I said. He sees this picture, immediately obsessed, immediately mesmerized, in love, some would say. For instance, here's a quote from Zaid himself. All I want to do is break her, shatter her into pieces, and then arrange those pieces to fit against my own. I don't care if they don't fit, I'll fucking make them. So essentially, Zaid is not very good at puzzling. He says he's going to make the pieces fit no matter what. He will have Addie no matter the cost. Except she does not know it yet. Hence the whole stalker situation.
Yeah, hence.
Now, as of right now, Addie has no idea what's going on. Okay, she has no idea that she has basically been proposed to marriage and she must spend her entire rest of her life with Zaid. She has no clue. She's just living her best life in the mansion. Okay, I turned off the lights. I did not mean to do that. A little bit of technical difficulties in the studio. It's okay. Every classroom has their problems. Pay attention. Pay attention, you in the back. Pay attention. I'm speaking. This is important. You're gonna have a test at this at the end. So Pay attention. Anyway, Addie has no idea what's going on. Addie, pretty much clueless. Does not know what is happening, has no idea who Zaid is, doesn't know that she is basically already married. But Addie, she's not a fool. She starts noticing that someone has been possibly walking around her house, possibly watching her. She starts to feel a little weird, you know? Basically picture like Criminal Minds. If Addie was a Criminal Minds character, she would probably die. He would be the unsub and she would be the victim and she would die. But this is a romance book, dark romance edition, so that does not happen. This is romantic. It's not scary or weird. Get that out of your brain. In this classroom, we accept. Remember, judgment-free zone. We love stalkers. So then Zaid starts being a little more, como se dice, out there. Okay, he kind of just wants Addie to know she's the one for him and she must be with him no matter what. So he starts leaving her little notes. You know, why not? Like for instance, I'll be seeing you soon, little mouse. Starts calling her little mouse immediately because she's just kind of trying to get away. Like, you know, a little mouse that just tries to skirt away and you just try to grab it. That's kind of what he's picturing when he sees her. Romance. It's not dead. He does in fact hide in her closet and watches her sleep again. Santa. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows when you've been bad or good. So be good for goodness sake. Zaid or Santa Claus. Whichever. Now this is when things start to get interesting, okay? Because at this point of the book, you're like kind of just getting background on Zaid and Addie. You're kind of not really understanding why you would fall for this human when he seems so scary, right? But then he starts doing things that just kind of tug at your heartstrings, okay? Get this. Where are my flowers? Right there. Roses. He starts leaving her roses at her home, okay? Without the thorns. He cuts the thorns out so she does not hurt herself. Now, if stalker, why thoughtful? If scary, why sweet? You know what I mean? This is when you kind of start to warm up to Zaid a little. You kind of start to think, maybe he's not as bad as it's making him out to be. Maybe he's misunderstood. Maybe he just loves her oh so much. This is where your morals start to go out the window. Now we reach Act 2 of the book, or as I like to call it, possessiveness. As I like to call it, Zaid trying to make her fall in love with him even though she does not want to. Some would say this is Stockholm Syndrome. Again, it's not, it's romance. So Zaid starts to slowly intertwine his life with Adeline, starts to slowly insert himself into her life, into her world. She does not want that, but he's not taking no for an answer. However, they have not met in person yet, okay? He knows about her. She has no idea about him. She just knows she has a stalker, okay? He sees her one night with this man that touches her. This man that touches her and she does not want to be touched. The next day, do you know what happens? Hands in a box. That's what happens, hands in a box.
It's my in a box.
Zaid delivers hands in a box to Adeline's house. Literal hands of the man who touched her the night before, who she did not want to touch her. Again, Superman, Batman, Santa Claus, white thoughtful. Imagine you're a UPS driver. Okay, get this, I'm your UPS driver. Ma'am, you have a package. Here is your box. And then you're Addie and you open it and you're like, oh my God, hands! You know, that's basically what happens there. Up until now, you the reader, me, the reader, anyone, is a little confused on how to feel about this book, but you're still keeping going. You know, the plot is plotting. Hands are being delivered. You want to see what's going to happen next. So at this point, Addie decides to be an absolute mastermind because she says, I need security. So she gets security against Zaid. But guess what? Zaid is the security. Zaid is the security she hires. She hires his company. What are the odds? I was so proud of her in this moment. I was like, she hired security. What a bad bitch. Wrong, because she's stupid. She hired him as security. She's not stupid, she doesn't know. She doesn't know. Any more Red Bull? This is really hard. All of this is pretty much the questionable part of the book, okay? You haven't gotten to the worst of it yet, but you know, your morals are being questioned. You're wondering, should I be enjoying this? Is this a bit too dark, a bit too much for me? And then you get to the spice. This section, Act 3, I like to call smut. A couple of objects are required for the spice analyzation of this book. First of all, guns. These pictures are water guns because I didn't want to put an actual picture of a gun. What kind of teacher do you take me for? But imagine a real gun. That's an object we're gonna need for the spice, okay? And then a mirror maze. One of those that you see in a carnival and you just kind of try to get through and you're stuck and you keep hitting mirrors. Yeah, That's that. So picture this. One night, Zayd finally presents himself to Addie, okay? She has noticed that she has a stalker, as I told you. She doesn't know who it is. She figures out it's Zayd. He's like, hey, it's me. It's me, little mouse. I'm the one. And she's scared. She's scared. She doesn't want anything to do with this man. And so he sticks a gun in places that guns should not be. In places guns do not belong. Guns don't belong anywhere, in my personal opinion. But specifically, where he put it, it definitely should not be. This is you during this part. You are throwing up.
Screaming, crying, throwing up.
But you proceed, because what else you're gonna do? You're pretty much halfway through the book now. You gotta keep going. You gotta find out what's gonna happen in the end. Next spicy scene that quite scares you. Mirror maze, okay? Addie goes into a mirror maze one night. Who's waiting for her? Not Jake from State Farm, Zayd. And he does things to her in said mirror maze that should never be done in a mirror maze, okay? I've went to mirror mazes, never saw him there. Not once. Not once did he come out and play. Maybe he was watching me from afar. We'll never know. He did not come out and do the things he did to her. These are two spicy scenes that are going to have you like this, but also may start to have you like this. Again, you're going to be questioning yourself a little bit. We've all been there. Judgment-free zone. Here's some beautiful, spicy moments that I would like to narrate for you, because I feel like they're very important. Zayd, he whispers against my lips. That's the only name that will ever leave your lips from now on, especially when you're making that little feel good. And when I'm making that feel good, then you can call me God. So this is when he's moved on from Santa Claus to God. Let me show you which stars you prefer, the ones above you or the ones that I make you see. I want to slap him, but the asshole would probably like it and then turn around and slap me back, and my dumbass self would probably like it too. As you can see, Addie is they're one and the same. They're both all levels of unhinged because they both like this cat and mouse game. Yeah. Some more choices that I don't quite love, but if you'd like to use them in your next book, here they are. You're so creamy and bundle of nerves are used quite often in these spicy scenes. Again, that's me throwing up, because why are you using bundle of nerves and you're so creamy? Is she a Boston cream donut? Anyway. We're gonna move past that because I'm a teacher. I'm not subjecting to any opinion. I'm just giving you the facts. Then after we have a lot of spicy moments, you know, you're hot and bothered. You're like, oh my God, okay, is this book horrible or is this book good? I don't know. All of a sudden I'm feeling things that I should not be feeling. We get to the love part. We get to the, we love this. This is beautiful. Romance. For instance, when you make someone fall in love with the darkest parts of you, there's nothing you can do that will scare them away. They will be yours forever because they already love all the fucked up bits and pieces of you. What you're seeing now is what I see every day. No matter how far I run, how hard I try to escape you, you're everywhere I go. You're everything I see. Loving you is like being trapped in a house of mirrors, little mouse. And I've never felt at home while being so lost inside you. One day you'll realize that you're not trapped in a prison. You are in my church, where I am your God and you are my equal. I'm not a jail, little mouse. I'm your sanctuary. So eventually, as you can see, this man, he wears her down. He wears her down. She wanted absolutely nothing to do with him. He already knew they were gonna fall in love and he wears her down. Is this the kind of romance we should want in real life? Absolutely not. Let's get one thing clear. No, we don't want this in real life. Students, are you listening? If there's a question in the exam later that says, would you want a Zayd in real life? You say no. You say no. As much as I know you want to say yes, you say no, because we don't. Because that's weird and that's creepy and that's scary and that's illegal, okay? But in a book, you know, we can fantasize about the fun of it all. So Addie basically falls in love with him back. Again, Stockholm Syndrome or love, that's for you to decide. I'm subjective. Is that the right word? Subjective? I'm the teacher, I'm supposed to know. But I feel like if somebody wants to raise their hand and let me know if that's correct, if that's what I'm trying to say, you do that. And that's a wrap for the first book. First book done. Haunting Adeline, the end. You pretty much finished that book with a bang. Are you ready? Are you ready? This is how the book ends. You watch Addie fall for Zayd finally. You are so happy, you are so excited. They are having a blast. Zayd, let's remember that this entire book is tracking down human traffickers and stopping them with his organization where he goes by Z, okay, this mystery man. And the organization wants to strike back. What do? They take Adeline. on. They take our little mouse and they strike at Zaid, and all of a sudden she's gone. Book ends. Yeah, now I know what you're thinking. Oh my god, how could you possibly not start the second book? You can't. And that's where you're stuck. That's where you're in a trap. Because the first book, did you like it? You don't know. You don't know. You're questioning everything. But now you have to continue. You have to go to the second book because you have to find out what happened to Little Mouse. So this is where the second book starts. And this is where I don't want to talk about the beginning at all, because this is where all the trigger warnings that you have within this book, you take them seriously, because it is the saddest shit I've ever read in my life. This will be you. Do you see that? That little crying cat? That's you. Right there. This other crying cat? That's also you. You're sobbing because Addie is being taken by these horrible, horrible men. Zaid cannot find her, and basically the first half of the book is them separated and her going through so fucking much by herself, and even thinking about it makes me want to cry. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Let's move on. Zaid is tearing down the world to find Addie, okay? And Addie is just being taken advantage of, abused in every way possible. Like I said, the saddest thing, all of the trigger warnings, do not take them lightly for this book. And if it's not for you, that is okay. That's why you're here, because I'm telling you exactly what happened. You don't need to read it. I just told you. Now we get to act whatever number we are on. Zaid finding Addie. He officially finds her after 2 months. 2 months later. When you see the words 2 months later, you die, cry, and die some more, because Addie has been going through this for 2 months straight. And you're not able to help her because you're not in the book. You're not paper. You wish you were, but you're not. Zaid finally finds her. Finally, okay? This is their reunion. He runs up to her and she says, Zaid, and he goes, fuck baby, stay right there. Don't you fucking move. And they were so emotional. He runs up to her, ready? He immediately lifts me into his arms, my legs circling his waist before he collapses to his knees, holding me so tightly that I can hardly draw in a breath. I'm here, little mouse. I'm here. Now, did you not fall for this book a little bit just by that part? I know, gather yourself. I'll give you some time, but I know you fell for it a little. You have to. You have a heart. Now we get to the rebuilding. Now we get to the fluffy stuff. The first half of the book, terrifying, scary, so sad. The second half, fluffiness, cuteness, okay? Because Addie is obviously going through a lot. She's depressed. She is struggling. And Zaid does everything in his power to rebuild her and to help her get back on her feet, on her own and with him. For instance, he brushes her hair because she cannot. He brushes her teeth because she cannot. He puts her in bed. He showers her. He does everything that she is unable to do. This is you at this moment. You're falling for this man, and it's quite scary. I know. You're speechless, right? Cat got your tongue, little mouse? Yeah, that was just a little inside joke between us. Did you get it? Because she's the mouse, and you're my mouse. Okay. Yeah, you got it. Now they start getting to know each other as well, okay? For instance, Addie never knew Zaid's last name, so she asks him, what's your last name? Do you know what he says? Meadows, baby. Our last name is Meadows. Our last name. Not mine. Our. I'll let you sit with that. One of my favorite parts of this book has to do with ice cream. I don't really know why I pointed at that. That's not a picture of ice cream, but it says, spit and I can't stress this enough in my fucking mouth. Because that's how you'll feel towards him after this scene. Are you ready? He says, what's your favorite flavor? And she tells him that it's mint chocolate chip. This man thinks it tastes like toothpaste. He's wrong, because I love mint chocolate chips. My favorite flavor. It tastes delicious. Okay, I love toothpaste. I love health and teeth. My shiny teeth that sparkle. La 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 in the sky. My shiny teeth and me.
Woo! Shiny teeth and me.
Anyway, and then one day they go to an ice cream parlor and he orders mint chocolate chip ice cream for her and for him. And then she goes, why did you get it for yourself? You don't even like it. Are you ready? My entire world revolves around you. If you want mint chocolate chip, then that's what I want too. And she says, do you even like it? And he says, I like you. Does that count? Oh my God, we love it. Sorry, I got a little, hold on. I need these for my presentation. This is officially when Adeline starts becoming herself again, okay? Not only do they rebuild together, but they go after the guys that got Adeline in the entire human trafficking world, and they destroy a bunch of people from within, and they have sex next to their corpses. Yeah, remember, real life illegal. In books, we love murder. Here's some quotes that I love. What you've forgotten is that the heart beating inside your chest isn't fucking yours, it's mine. And if my heart has stopped working, then pull that trigger, little mouse. Kill the rest of me. I'm nothing if I'm not the reason you breathe. This is when he's basically telling her that if there's no her, there's no him. I don't care if I need to set this world on fire until there's no one left but you and me. The world will burn around us and I'll gladly live in chaos with you as long as the only person that is a danger to you is me. Now, you may be thinking, that's not romantic, Mrs. Reeds, that's scary. Again, it's beautiful. I followed you through a lifetime's Adeline. My soul needs you so badly that I've become a shadow, destined to hunt you for eternity. You and I will never end, little mouse. Even when we're 6 feet under and our bones are dust, I will haunt your soul until it aches to be free of me. And then I'll hold you tighter. The end. This is basically a quick recap of the Cat and Mouse duet by H.D. Carlton, narrated, scripted, written, presented to you by Mrs. Reeds. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for coming to class. Don't forget you have an exam due tomorrow. Please do answer questions down below. Number 1, did you enjoy this? Number 2, what other books would you like to see this with? Number 3, what do you think of my presentation? What do you think of me as a teacher? I think I kind of nailed it. Don't you? The end.